All right, there's a huge story going on in NCAA. March Madness is coming up, and there's a team, Alabama Crimson Tide. We all know the football team. The basketball team is actually pretty good this season. They were number two. They won last night. Now they're number one. And the star of that team, his name is Brandon Miller, um, scored 41 points and won the game in overtime, right? He has been involved in a murder that took place in January. Here's the story. The story went something like this. So we'll say allegedly, but pretty much most of this has been confirmed. Um, he has a friend. His friend either texted him or contacted him somehow and said, "Hey, bring me my gun." He obliged and brought his friend a gun. The gun was then used to shoot a woman along with someone else. Two people, the friend that he brought the gun to had another friend with him or acquaintance, and they shot into a vehicle and killed the woman. Um, he's still being able to play. A lot of people are saying he should be, suspended. He should be, you know, reprimanded, something like that. But here's a few parts, right? You have a winning team. You're trying to win a championship. He's one of the star players, stuff like that. Here's my opinion. I understand he's 21 years old, and everybody say, "Oh, your brain's not developed" and stuff like that, right? And I understand we all make mistakes, and when you're in college, you really don't know who you're hanging out with. I think you don't realize who you're hanging out with till you're older, and realize that your safety is more important. So you kind of have to vet who you're around. You can't really be in the car with any and everybody. Um, I can count on one hand how many times I've been in a car as a passenger with people in the last 5, 6 years. Not obviously Uber, but I'm talking about like, hey, yo, ride with me here, ride with. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna meet you there, or I'm not gonna go. But it is what it is. When you're young, many times as a college student, I'm in places I would have never went to if I was the driver, right? Or when I'm driving someone and I find out later on this person is involved in this or that, I'm like, wow, I would have never had that person around me, right? But here's the thing: if someone asks you, "Hey, bring me a lawnmower," you say, "Hey, what? I'm gonna bring you a lawnmower because I think you're gonna what? Cut grass, right?" "Hey, bring me a coffee from the store," right? You say, "Oh, you want coffee? Okay." I think what? You're gonna drink coffee, right? If someone says, "Bring you a gun," there's only one conclusion: that someone is going to be shot or someone is going to injure themselves. And I don't think anyone in their right mind should be okay with someone with that mentality leading a basketball team, leading other young men, leading a fan base, leading a school. I'm not saying to spend them right now and kick him out the program forever, but he should not be playing. They have to figure out what happened, and if those are the facts, that someone contacted him and said bring him a gun, and he did not have the mental awareness and connection to say this gun will be used for either a crime or for self harm of a friend of a person I'm acquaintances with. I think that person should definitely not lead anything. And leading is subjective, right? I don't It's relative. I don't think he's leading. Leading is just like you score points, most points of the team, so you're leading. That don't necessarily mean you're leading the people in the locker room, leading them, to be better young men, all that good stuff. But in a lot of fan bases, that's what people believe. You're in this position, so you're the leader of this team, right? You score the most points, you're the leader. You're a quarterback, you're the leader. Automatically, based on your position, you're the leader. I definitely don't think he should be playing. I'm usually always on the player side and stuff like that. And he won't be prosecuted so far. It's not illegal to deliver a gun to someone unless you know they're gonna commit a crime, or if you know that the gun is illegal. If this is a law-abiding citizen, hey man, bring your gun. Hey man, here's your gun, man. You say, I got you. But you have to understand that's a serious accusation, a very serious thing to be involved in. I feel sorry for the young lady's family, because they should have never even got there. Obviously, you shouldn't be killing black women, should be killing women, but you definitely shouldn't be killing black women. But you also, most importantly, shouldn't be delivering guns. Someone, I'm so thankful I don't have those type of people around me. Someone say, "Hey man, bring my gun." I'm like, "Yeah, I got you," and I will not talk to you for 2 days. I'm like, "Man, oh man, I totally forgot, man. That gun is still in your car, man. You better go get it." Be like, "Man, what?" But I understand his position because as a college student, you're always around people you do not know their intention, you don't know their mind state, you don't know anything about them. You have a connection to them because they're also another college student, right? Or they're on campus a lot, and you got parties, you meet, and whatever. But I understand some people don't know how to say no, and it takes a lot of power to say, "No, I'm not going to do that. Mess up my future and potentially yours." But that is a very serious thing. If you don't know someone could potentially be using a gun to injure someone or injure themselves. So I think he should be sat down, at least for this season, and definitely should not play in the NCAA tournament. But always remember, money rules everything. So everything is going to be taken into account. But they're in first place. And if they can win the championship and make billions of dollars, they're going to make this go away. Peace.